Folks, it is week dose of the 2025 NFL regular season. And like we said last week, we'll be trying to bring you guys full slate predictions just like we did the week before. Welcome back to another episode of Dom and Gonz Sports Talk, where we not only talk about the Ravens, but everything happening around the NFL. I'm Dom. That guy over there is Gonz. Gonz, how are you on this Wednesday evening?
Well, we're making it through the week. We're at Wednesday, only 2 more days of work or school or whatever you're doing. And then we're back to another week of Ravens football coming up.
Oh, gosh.
So I'm ready. I'm ready to redeem ourselves.
Well, that's the question. But we'll wait for that for another time. But as Gon said, guys, it's ready for another week of football here. We have the full slate for you guys. But before we do that, we did give our predictions last week. So is there any chance you want to take a look at that list before we dive into this new week?
Do we have to? Well, I don't think we need to go game by game. But in summary, Dom finished with a 12-4 record. He went with mainly the safe teams. While I took a little bit more of a risk, and I'm not making excuses, but I picked a lot more upsets than my fellow partner over here, and that resulted in me going only 8-8. As a whole slew of teams that could have won the game didn't win the game. I was dead wrong about the Giants. Although they played a pretty competitive game, their defense did keep them in it the entire game. It was like 14-3 and 14-6 for like the longest time. I mean, the Giants offense held that team in check. Commanders couldn't do too much on offense. If they could have just put some points on the board, who knows what could have happened. But yeah, Russell Wilson struggled in the red zone. Just a bad day overall. Drops, just a nasty pass protection. Just one of the worst I've ever seen. It was just bad nightmare on offense for the Giants. But closer game than it probably should have been. But thanks to the Giants defense. And then Dom went hit with his Las Vegas, but I'll be honest, I think that they switched the line before the game and they gave the Raiders
the advantage.
So obviously I'm not going to penalize my partner for that because he was picking the Vegas Raiders when the Patriots were still favored. But I will get on him and say he did go with the safe upset pick of the week because the Raiders were pretty.
It's going to get more wild as the season goes on.
They put the line before the game. So
you know what?
I said the world agreed that the Raiders were going to win, so obviously it wasn't that crazy of an upset.
It wasn't, but
the line freaking switched.
It did. I didn't know that.
But we're giving it to him. I'm a fair guy. We picked it. It technically was an upset before he picked it.
Technically,
so we'll give it to him. But
by Vegas standards, I guess
he took all the teams that were going to win. Pittsburgh and Jets. That was a game that definitely could have gone either way.
I was going to come back here this week and give you your props because I know you picked the Jets to win that game, and I saw how they were playing. Justin Fields and that Jets team played a really, really good game. Like you
did, and they should have won it.
And Fields was making all the right decisions with the football, took off when he needed to, had a really good passer rating. Garrett Wilson had a good game. Breece Hall had a really good game. I mean, you have to give credit where credit is due to that Jets team. Aaron Glenn is really trying to set a standard. And, it sounds like although they lost, it sounds like, they're really adhering to, what he has to say. And, and Pittsburgh, Aaron Rodgers, he also had a really good game. It's the battle of the two. We thought that game was going to be ugly. Honestly, we both said that game was going to be ugly. I thought it was going to be low scoring. Both teams ended up scoring over 30.
Brandon Stevens actually could have had a pick six, but he slipped and fell. He had a rough game. No surprise there. We know him very well here in Baltimore. But yeah, the Jets, shout out to them. Now, one last question, and then we'll rapid fire the next 2 games. Is that more the Jets being good or the Steelers being suspect?
Oh, that is a good.
I personally think it's a little bit of both. I think the Jets are going to be an improved team than last year, but I also think that Pittsburgh is not as good as they think they are.
I think that's a safe pick, but I don't think you're too wrong in your estimation. I think with the Jets, with a new head coach and a new mindset, we saw what happened to Xavier Gibson I mean, he had that fumble that most will say that cost the Jets the game, and then you hear that he's already been released from the team, like the team cut him. So, I mean, I think that put Jets players on notice, like this new regime, like this new coaching staff, they ain't tolerating none of that. Like there will be, if you are going, Aaron Glenn said it himself, if you're going to cost us this game, you're not going to be on this team. And he made it very clear with Xavier Gibson. And you hate to see somebody lose their job, obviously. I mean, but I don't know, man. I think, like you said, the Jets are going to be better. I think they're going to be better this year. I know a lot of people didn't give them credit coming into this season, but I think they're going to be a lot better. And I think Pittsburgh looks questionable. They started that game questionable, got it together late in that game. But we'll just have to see what happens with them as the season transpires.
Yeah. Very quickly, the other games where we were wrong, the Indianapolis Colts dominated the Miami Dolphins. Daniel Jones went off 30-0. I mean, didn't see it coming. But I don't know, maybe the Colts are a little bit better than we thought, and the Dolphins might just be a mess. But we'll see when the weeks to come. Monday Night Football, Vikings-Bears. I had the Bears winning, and they looked like the better team for 3.5 quarters, and in a Ravens-like collapse, they surrender 20 straight points and lose the game at the end.
To my pick, the Vikings.
The Vikings, which was
insane.
I mean, my record's bad, guys, but all of those teams that I picked
could have went either way.
Had the lead in their game.
It could have went either way.
Jets had the lead. So Browns had the lead. Bears had the lead. I could have easily had a 12-4 record or 11-5 at worst. So anyway, yeah, Browns couldn't get it done against the Bengals, but they gave them a hell of a fight again. And I told you guys, watch out for the Bengals. They were crapping the bed again. Only 17 points. They struggle in Cleveland. And if it wasn't for the ineptitude of the Cleveland Browns kicker, the Browns probably would have won that game. And tipped interceptions from Flacco off the receiver's hands. Hopefully we can get some of those this week. That ended up costing them turnovers and missed kicks. And I believe there was one more game. The Chiefs, we were dead wrong. They took an L. The Chargers came in there firing, and you saw the Chiefs starting to come back, and the Chargers were starting to charger it again. But then Herbert and Jim Harbaugh's pumped the brakes. Hold up, we're not doing that again. So let's stop this train before it gets off track. And they keep steamrolling to victory. So shout out to Kansas. Shout out to the Chargers. We're getting it done. Yeah.
Yeah, Herbert.
I think that's all the ones where we disagreed on. Yeah, that was it. I'm ready for week 2.
All right.
Dom currently holds the lead at 12-4, and I'm at 8-4. So
I mean, doesn't that
let's see you get a little aggressive here. Can you pick some teams that you?
Okay. But can we see how the season? You got to understand. All right. Week 1, week 2. We got to see how the season transpires, man.
But that's where the insanity happens, though. This is where it happens.
I mean, we saw what
everybody's got a clean slate, so you don't know who's going to win. But anyway,
you're right. But I mean, you saw what happened to us, so we'll see what happens.
All right,
guys. Let us get into this game action. So I'm going to pull up this don't be disrespectful to me, please. There we go. All right, so let's pull up these slates, starting with tomorrow night. Now we got Washington versus Green Bay. That is going to be a good one, Gonz. Who do you got?
Now I'm going to go lightning round on these. Commanders got a victory against the Giants. We talked about it a little bit. They only scored 21 points, 21-6 victory. Defense held on pretty well. Giants offense struggled. Packers, on the other hand, dismantled the Lions in a shocking upset. We didn't talk about that. That was another one. We both had the Lions winning.
Oh, yeah.
This was a pretty big performance. I wasn't expecting them to blow them out how they did. Micah Parsons got his first sack. That Green Bay defense looks good. Now, is it the ineptitude of the Lions? Because they're dealing with a new coordinator. Ben Johnson now coaches the Bears. So we'll see if the Packers defense is legit as they're faced with the Commanders. If I were to pick, I think that the Commanders will probably score more points. But I think give me the Green Bay Packers. They're at home. I don't think that the Commanders played as well on offense as they should have last week. There could be a little bit more rust. Give me the Green Bay Packers in a close one, 24-20.
Yeah, I agree. I'm going with Green Bay on this one. Like you said, they absolutely shut the door on Detroit in week one. It was very surprising, very shocking. I mean, although Detroit did lose their coordinators, it's not like they lost any talent. I mean, at least on their weapon side of the ball. I know they did lose an offensive lineman. You know, they're still readjusting. Aiden Hutchinson did come back. So, I mean, on the offensive side of the ball, I would think that at least they were able to keep up with Green Bay as far as the scoring wise, but they were not. They were pretty much inept on that side of the ball. Like you said, Commanders, they kind of didn't really ease by New York. They still got a good win, but it wasn't really like a dominating win for the Commanders. Seemed like they still might have some growing to do on the offensive side of the ball. Defensively, I mean, obviously, you saw what they did to that offensive line in New York, but the offensive line in New York hasn't been great since. How old am I? Yeah. So at that point, I'm going to give it to Green Bay here. So we both will take Green Bay for Thursday Night Football upcoming. All right. So next matchup to start off the Sunday slate, we got Cincinnati at Jacksonville. I'm not gonna lie, this one was a little bit confusing for me because this one was a little bit difficult because Jacksonville, I feel like played okay. Cincinnati didn't look great, but I think Cincinnati is going to be looking for a bounce back game and like offensively because they were just putrid offensively against Cleveland. Maybe that just might speak to how good Cleveland's defense could be this year. We'll see when we play them this upcoming weekend. But this one, I'm probably just going to go Cincinnati. I just don't know if those DBs in Jacksonville are ready for T. Higgins and Jamar Chase.
Yeah, give me the Bengals. I think that I just think the Jaguars are a little bit too young of a squad. I know Trevor Lawrence, he could have a decent day. And the Jaguars, they could pull up the upset of the century and pull this off, although it wouldn't be called the upset of the century because Bengals, you already know how they play in September. But I still think the Bengals are just going to get the edge in this one just because of that youth that they got over there in Jacksonville. But it might be a closer game than y'all think. So give me the Bengals in this one as well.
Okay, moving on. New York, Dallas. Dallas looking for a little bit of redemption. This close to trying to knock off the defending champions week one on Thursday night. Really good game from Dak and CeeDee Lamb. He had a couple of drops. He'll be looking to redeem himself. New York looking to bounce back. I'm not going to lie. I just don't trust New York, the Giants' offensive line. I just don't think they're able to hold paper against a lot of these pass rushing groups. I know Dallas doesn't really have their star pass rusher anymore in Micah Parsons, but I feel as though I just don't trust they'll be able to keep Russell Wilson upright in this game. So I'm just going to go ahead and take Dallas on this one.
Give me the Cowboys. The Giants have not shown me enough on offense. I think, and it's being played in Dallas. I think Javonte Williams can have a nice day too. Give me the Cowboys. There's really not much to say about this. Russell Wilson, while he probably should have a better game, because I don't know if the Cowboys D-line is going to be as good as Commanders. Just give me the Cowboys and a pretty straightforward victory.
Okay, next up, Chicago and Detroit. We got some NFC North action here. Chicago, embarrassing loss, as you said, on Monday night to Minnesota. They had the game and then they lost it. Sounds familiar, right? On Monday night. Detroit, again, both these teams 0-1 looking to bounce back. This is kind of depending on health. Now, Chicago did not have Jalen Johnson last week. He was out of the game with an injury. Even though Chicago was still able to hold their own defensive back wise against Minnesota. Justin Jefferson didn't get a touchdown till late in the game. Obviously, like defensively, they were just wrecking Minnesota until they were not wrecking Minnesota in that game. Detroit, I mean, they couldn't stop Green Bay. I don't know what it was. They could not stop Green Bay. Honestly, give me the Bears in an upset.
Ooh.
Take this one.
I
just don't know if I trust Detroit right now as far as getting a decent amount of stop. And Caleb looked impressive early in that game. And I think they try to bounce back. I think Ben Johnson cooked something up against his former team.
Is this your upset of the week?
I don't not yet.
Okay, you got an upset coming. All righty.
Yeah,
good. Okay, there we go. Now he's starting to get some spicy picks. That's a good one. I'm going to go with the Lions. I think they need a bounce back game bad. They can't. Starting 0-2, I know that's only 2 games behind, but I feel like that would be a pretty uphill climb given the state of what the Green Bay Packers are doing and the Minnesota Vikings. They got the win week 1. Losing to the Bears, I feel like would be very – they'd be down in the dumps. I mean, although their season would be far from over, you just don't want to start 0-2.
Especially in your division.
Yeah, and then right. So give me the Lions in a bounce back game. But again, would it surprise me if the Bears gave them a fight? I don't know. It would not. I don't know who wins, but give me the Lions in a pretty relatively close game.
Okay, next one up. I think this is pretty much cut and dry. We got Los Angeles Rams versus the Tennessee Titans. I'm taking the Rams. I'm sorry. It's just that simple for me. I think Sean McVay is going to out-coach Callahan for the Titans, and I just don't know if Cam Ward is going to be ready to I mean, I'm really high on the Rams this year. I said earlier in this, like before the season started, it was just going to be depending on Stafford's health, and the Rams are going to look to have a better game than they did in week 1, and I think they do that against Tennessee. So just give me Los Angeles.
Yeah, I really kind of want to pick Cam Ward and the Titans because it is that they're home. But the fact that the Rams defense played so well last week, I think I got to give the edge to Los Angeles, and I think they're going to get it done. I know Stafford's dealing with that back issue. Their offense had some issues. They only scored 14 against the Texans in a 14-9 victory. So while their offense might not have to be perfect, they can lean on the defense with another strong performance against the rookie quarterback Cam Ward playing his second ever NFL game. Give me the Rams. I think they get it done.
Sounds good. And I'm also trying to make sure I'm accurate on this because it looked like so Puka Nacua was hurt in that last game, but he returned from a concussion evaluation after 2 helmet-to-helmet hits. But it looks like he might be good to go. So I think Rams will still be able to handle that no problem. So on to the next matchup, New England versus Miami. Gonz, this is an ugly one. Who do you have? Because I don't even freaking know.
It's being played in Miami, so I think that bodes way better for the Dolphins than if it was played in New England. What a stinker for the Dolphins last week. 30-8. They didn't get shut out. They did score 8 points at the end of the game.
Yeah, I think it was 33-8. Yeah.
Yeah, it might as well have been a shutout, though, because that was just a game utterly dominated by the Colts. Dolphins need a bounce-back game. Losing at home to the young Patriots, this is the tough one, but I'm going to go with a bounce-back game for Miami, and I think they'll get it done. Maybe in a close slop fest, 23-20 or something. But it would not surprise me if the Patriots did come and take the victory based on how they've been playing.
Well, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to go with New England here. I think New England takes it just because, again, I think Drake May comes into his own a little bit in week 2. I don't know about Miami's defense. I'm not sold on them. They made Daniel Jones look like prime Peyton Manning out there in week 1. So especially if Christian Gonzalez comes back. If Christian Gonzalez comes back and he's healthy going into this game and he's able to play, I think New England will be able to defeat Miami in a close one. I think Miami goes 0-2 here and New England goes 1-1 in this matchup.
Will not surprise me because how bad they've been playing.
Yeah. All right. On to the next matchup, San Francisco versus New Orleans. Okay. This one right here. And now I know what everybody's going to think. This might not be what people think it is because Brock Purdy, I think, is out for this matchup against New Orleans this weekend. I think he's dealing with a toe and another injury that he sustained in week 1. So I believe, will be Mac Jones starting for the San Francisco 49ers this weekend against Spencer Rattler. this is going to be, I think, remember what we said last weekend about the Jets Steelers just being ugly? I think this one is going to be ugly. But even then, I'm still probably going to roll with the Niners. I just think the game might be, if Brock Purdy was starting, I would say, yeah, I'm easily taking Niners. I think the Niners still win, but it might be closer than they think due to their injuries because Brock Purdy's out, Kittle's out. No idea when IU's coming back. Juwan Jennings was dealing with an injury, but I think he's good. He'll be good to go for this week. CMC, I think, will be fine. So I'm still going to roll with the Niners here.
Yeah, I think that they're going to really need to run the ball this game to really generate some offensive firepower, and I think they will, especially with all those injuries you listed. So I think the Niners are going to go in and take the victory, maybe in a 10-point game or so, 20-10, 23-13, something like that.
I don't think you're wrong there. I think it'll be close, and probably around that score range. Probably won't be high scoring, but we definitely will see. All right, heading into the next matchup, Buffalo versus the New York Jets. Gonz, what you got?
This is an interesting one because the Bills, they have issues against the Jets, especially in the recent years. Allen does not really play too well in New York, and that's where this game is taking place. But the Jets didn't really show me too much confidence on defense. While they had flashes, and they did get to Rodgers a couple times, they didn't show me enough consistency to really make me earn their trust that they could be a tough defense to score on, at least right now. With the Bills coming to town, I think Allen's going to get it done. I think he'll have a better game. But even if he does have some struggles like he usually does, I think it'll be enough to win. Give me the Bills in a relatively close game.
I'm probably going to take the Bills as well, but I will not discount the Jets only because we ran, like, even though we completely abandoned later. We ran highly well against that Buffalo Bills defense in week 1. Henry almost had 200 yards rushing. We had like a boatload of yards rushing against that Bills defense, and Aaron Glenn already stressed, and we saw in that week 1 matchup when the Jets played the Steelers that they're emphasizing running the ball. Like they're very keen on running the ball with Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, or even Justin Fields. Like they're very, very adamant on that. So I think they'll give the Bills a run for their money as far as the run game is concerned. But I'd still have the Bills taking this one in a close one. But I wouldn't discount the Jets only because I feel as though they might give the Bills more of a challenge defensively than we did. Maybe. I know they gave up a decent amount of points to those Pittsburgh Steelers, but it's divisional football. So, and they'll know Josh Allen. Josh Allen knows them. This won't be anything new for either one of them. All right. So heading into this next matchup,
we abandoned it. I don't think we abandoned it. I think we got way too predictable.
That part too.
Because we ran it. We didn't bat the ball. Anyway, this isn't Ravens yet. We'll talk about that on Friday and Saturday.
All right. Heading into this next one, Seattle versus those Pittsburgh Steelers. Who do you got?
I got to pick the Steelers. They're at home. Seattle, they did play the Niners tough. Their defense is the real deal. It appears after one game. So, yeah, I got to pick the Steelers. I just don't think they're going to generate enough offense. But, I mean, if week 1 gives me any previews, the Steelers defense really got destroyed when it came to the Jets offense. So maybe Sam Darnold can generate something. We'll see. Charbonnet, Kenneth Walker, feel free to get 100-yard games, each of you. That'd be wonderful. But I just can't see it. I just don't see it this week. I gotta pick those Pittsburgh Steelers, unfortunately. In a tight one, because they're gonna play down to their opponent, because that's what they always do. So give me the Steelers.
Yeah, I think that Pittsburgh defense, even though again they didn't play, they clutched up when it mattered, but they did not play great throughout that game against Fields and the Jets. I mean, Fields still had a good day. They dropped over 30. I don't know if they can rattle Sam Darnold. We'll just have to see. I mean, you got JSN, you got Cooper Kupp, you got Kenneth Walker, Charbonnet. They got some guys over there, but the question is, will this Pittsburgh defense be able to rattle them? And I think they'll probably do a decent amount of that. So give me the Steelers in a tight one. All right, so we are skipping Baltimore, Cleveland because we'll be bringing you guys that later this week. We're going on to Denver, Indianapolis. This could be a good one. This could be a good game. Do not see Indiana pulling it off, though. I'm going with Denver. I just trust Denver's defense over Indy's a little bit more. I think they'll be able to get to Daniel Jones quite relatively a decent amount throughout this game, especially pass rush wise. DB wise, I know Pastor Tan is going to be able to hold whoever he guards. So give me Denver in this matchup. I just don't know if Indy will be able to handle that.
Okay, give me the Colts in this one. I think their defense is better than last year, and I don't think it was a fluke against the Dolphins. Okay, I mean the Dolphins, we already know they're kind of a strange team, but this is the time where they're usually on fire. Like September, October, this is when they start stacking wins, and they got absolutely annihilated in week 1. So, and it's being played in Indy, so this is their second straight home game. I feel like the Colts can get this done. I think Daniel Jones just protect the football, make a couple throws. Bo Nix had some issues last week at home versus the Titans. He had a lot of turnovers. He had like 3 interceptions, 2 interceptions and a fumble, at least 3 turnovers, might have had 4. And I don't think it gets better here. I think the Colts are a stingy defense, and I think they could get some more mistakes out of Bo Nix. Give me the Colts. And technically, this is an upset because the Denver is favored by 1.5.
Okay.
That's not my pick of the week, though.
All right. Moving on. We got
your pick of the week is not my pick of the week. We'll see.
I highly hope not either. I'm kind of looking at mine, but
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
We got the Super Bowl rematch in Kansas City. The Philadelphia Eagles will be taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at 4:25 p.m. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Chiefs hater. I'm sorry. It's just in the DNA. Respect y'all. Respect the championships, but I'm a hater. So I'm going with Philly in this one. Not an explanation needed. Just going off pure hate here. And the fact that, also going off the fact that I know Mahomes is great. There's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about the fact that he's an amazing talent, amazing quarterback. He's going into this game without Rashee Rice, most likely without Xavier Worthy. The defense was spotty in that first week when they played the Chargers. Chargers came away with that win, like we said earlier, in the upset victory over them. I feel like it won't be BTA like it was in the Super Bowl. I think it will not be a repeat of that. I think they keep this game close compared to how it was last year, especially with Philadelphia secondary taking some big hits because they lost some guys. But they're getting Jalen Carter back for this game. We already know he's serving that fine. He already served his suspension because he didn't play a single snap in that first game. And he wreaked havoc on that team. That whole team just wreaked havoc. So give me Philly.
Yeah, I'm taking Philly too, although it's not going to be easy. This game could go either way because Philly didn't especially look that good on Thursday night last week. They really struggled on offense in that second half. They couldn't get the ball to their best guy, A.J. Brown. I mean, and Barkley didn't get to 100 yards rushing. It was kind of a sloppy performance. I mean, given it is week 1, so maybe they'll do a little bit better. But this is in Arrowhead. It's going to be tougher. The offense needs to come and play and show up. They really do. Fortunately, I think their defense will be able to hold them. But again, the Cowboys did seem like they were marching through and cutting through sliced cheese at times on that Philly defense. So I don't know. This could go either way. Honestly, I'm not sold on how the Eagles are playing right now, but I guess I'm going to have to take them. Or am I? You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna switch that. I'm gonna take the Kansas City Chiefs because I don't feel like the Eagles played well enough last week to inspire me to beat a good team like this.
You don't think they bounce back even without Mahomes having his top 2 wide receivers?
I think Mahomes is going to bounce back because he's got Travis Kelce. They're going to run the ball with Pacheco. I mean, Javonte Williams got some space, and I know they didn't have Jalen Carter, so I got to factor that in. But the Chiefs can't start 0-2, can they?
I think here's a quick analysis on that.
Give me the Chiefs, by the way.
Okay, if they start 0-2, I'm still not worried about them. I know they're gonna start to panic or whatever, but I'm not worried about them. They'll make it. They'll still win they'll get to the postseason. They'll still win, a decent amount of games this year. I'm not stressing because the thing is they love to say
A little
like
bit more tough though in that AFC West.
they do. I'm not saying they don't. The AFC West is definitely more competitive now, but as far as them, like I'm just like we do this like every time they seem to struggle. Like they struggle and they'll have some like moments like, oh man, what are the Chiefs gonna do? They're looking a little spotty, and then they come out, they still win, they still make the playoffs and whatever. So I'm not really stressing it. I'm not adding to that narrative because I just don't want them to have that, oh, Chiefs overcame adversity, blah blah blah. Like we know. We know they'll be fine.
All right, we'll see.
So heading in, actually, now that I'm looking at this, I'm gonna have to change my upset of the week because I think my upset of the week will probably have to be Patriots over Miami.
Okay.
Because I'm realizing that the thing I was going to pick for upset of the week might not really be as much of an upset.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with my upset of the week being Patriots over Miami.
What's the score?
I think they win that one 27-17 over the Miami Dolphins. So I'm going 27-17 Patriots. Take that in Miami. But yeah, so moving on to the next matchup, we have Sunday Night Football. We got Atlanta versus Minnesota.
Back up, Dom. We have to do Panthers Cardinals.
Oh shoot! How did I skip that? What?
No, you were anxious about the Chiefs.
I apologize. Sorry, guys. Arizona, Carolina. I'm taking Arizona in this one. They looked good in that first game, so I don't trust Carolina. I don't know. I don't trust the youth movement in Carolina just yet.
No, it's on the road too. You saw how they played in Jacksonville. They're just not there yet. Not there yet. Yeah. Give me the Cardinals.
All right, sounds good. Sorry about that, guys. I forgot. I'm sorry I skipped that. I don't know how I got to the Philadelphia Kansas City game so quick. All right, so moving on to Atlanta versus Minnesota. Who do you got?
This is an interesting matchup. The Falcons came 3 points away from tying that game and sent it overtime, but Young Wei Koo missed it. He's been struggling. Yes. So the Falcons might be more of a feisty team this year. So this is not an easy victory for the Minnesota Vikings at all. I'm just going to have to take Minnesota. I think that the home team is going to get it done. They're going to bounce off, or they're going to stack the win after coming back in Chicago last week. But it would not shock me at all if those Atlanta Falcons, those dirty birds, came up there and shocked them.
Yeah, I'm rolling with Minnesota as well. I think they're riding high off that momentum coming back down double figures against Chicago Bears. McCarthy looked like a dog out there in that fourth quarter, running in that touchdown, throwing some laser beams to Jefferson in the end zone to get them that win. So I think they're going to ride high off that momentum, and unfortunately, Orlando probably will start 0-2 going into this weekend. Now, heading into Monday night, we got a doubleheader for Monday Night Football, starting off with Tampa Bay at Houston. You know what the crazy thing is? I low-key kind of want to roll with Tampa Bay here in this game. Emike Egbuka looks like a star out there with Mike Evans. Baker is Baker, obviously still playing well over there in that Tampa system. The defense is still really good over there in Tampa, even though them and Atlanta got into a dogfight. But again, that's divisional football, so Houston, it's just with Houston, it's like it's no detriment to Stroud. I know Stroud is talented, there's no doubt about it. But again, it's just with them, it's like with no Tank Dell, you have Nico Collins. Is that enough? And no Joe Mixon right now. So you're really just holding on, trying to just string wins together. You took the L in week 1. You could use a bounce back game, but I just don't know if they get it against Tampa Bay and that Todd Bowles defense in week 2. So I'm gonna go with the upset here, and I'm gonna take Tampa Bay.
So the Texans are favored. You confirm that? Okay.
Texans are, yeah. Well, judging by the bet line here, yes, Houston -2, and yeah, so they are favored in this game.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards Tampa Bay as well. I don't know. Houston's offense just doesn't seem inspiring. I mean, more struggles for C.J. Stroud. We're expecting him to come break out like he did as a rookie, and we're just still not seeing that yet. He kind of had some issues last year, and I don't think they're going to win this one either. I think I think Tampa can go in and win this. They've played pretty well inside these domes. So give me the Bucks. I think they're going to take it, and then Houston's going to go to 0-2.
Yeah, it's just, again, and this is not a detriment to CJ Stroud. It's just, again, the people he's had around him haven't really been able to stay healthy outside of Nico Collins. And Nico Collins is a dog, but again, it's going to take more than him to win. I think defensively they can try to do their best against Tampa Bay, but I don't know. We'll just have to see. But I do have Tampa Bay winning in a close one. So we'll see what happens Monday night. And the final matchup, ladies and gents, going into this week 2 slate, we have some AFC West football with the Los Angeles Chargers taking. I'm obviously tripping. The Los Angeles Chargers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. Gonz, final prediction.
This is my upset pick of the week. The Raiders are favored to lose this game by 3.5. Chargers are favored to win by 3.5, I should say. And I think the Raiders are going to get it done at home. Everybody's high on the Chargers. They just beat Kansas City in Brazil. They're riding high. They think they've turned a corner, and I think the Raiders are going to shut them back down. So give me Las Vegas in a thriller 27-20. Pete Carroll gets it done. Geno Smith gets it done at home.
Okay. What made you pick that? I'm very curious.
I don't know. Geno Smith threw some lasers last week. He really did. I know he had a bad interception, but there were some really nice throws he made against New England. They're a feisty defense, and it was in New England too. Now they're going home for their home opener. I think the Vegas can do it.
I don't know, man. I'm probably gonna disagree with you here. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I mean, after you come off a win like that, and Herbo kind of flexing after getting that last first down to seal it. They're riding high off that momentum, finally beating the Chiefs. Because, I mean, again, the Chiefs have kind of owned them these past couple of showings. And lo and behold, they finally get that win. I feel as though the Chargers get the win Monday night. Wow, 10 o'clock start time. That's a little nuts. I feel as though they get the win Monday night. I don't know. I just feel like the Chargers, not saying, obviously it was only week 1, right? But I feel as though they're kind of trying to turn things around. And with Jim Harbaugh on their side, who knows? Maybe they do it. But I have the Chargers winning at Vegas. So, guys, that was pretty much our predictions in a nutshell. Couple of upsets that we're expecting this week, after we saw some week 1 performances. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Who is taking this? Is your favorite team going to win this week in week 2? Let us know your thoughts and everything in the comment section. Don't forget to leave us a like, share, all that fancy jazz. Gonz, any final comments on this week 2 slate?
We just want to appreciate all the support we got for our first ever live commentary for an NFL regular season game. Buffalo Bills, Ravens. It was not the outcome we wanted, but it was a hell of a good game, and we had a lot of fun. Had a lot of you guys comment and view, and some of you guys even subscribe, so we appreciate that. We're almost to 50 subs, so that will be a milestone for us. So thanks again for all your support. We will be back doing those again. We're eyeing the Chiefs game, so that is in week 4, I believe. So just a few more weeks from this Sunday. So yeah, that's next in line. Hopefully, I love doing it. I hope Dom loves doing it. I think it should become a staple of this channel as well, in addition to a bunch of other content things that we do. So thanks again for the support.
I'm glad you pointed that out. Shout out to you for pointing that out. Like Gonz said, you guys showed up and showed out for that live commentary stream. The first one we were able to do together. It was so fun. You guys blew up that video, so we appreciate it. Probably the most views we've had on the video since we started doing content. So thank you all so much for your love and support on that. And again, we just want to do this, guys, because we love talking football. We love talking football with you all. And don't be afraid to interact with us. We love interacting. It doesn't matter if you're a Ravens fan. We love interacting with you guys, talking football. It's fun. It's entertaining for us because this is a sport we truly enjoy. And this is just something that we support every player for what they do and give on every Sunday, Thursday, Monday, whenever they play. So like Gonz said, and he greatly shouted that out. So shout out to him. Thank you for showing up and showing out for that stream, because we really, being able to do that for you guys and being there with our friends, it felt great. It was a great moment. So thank you guys for that.
Bearing with the chaos us in the noise. It won't be like that every time.
Yeah.
Well, what's that face? Don wants to do that again? Oh, yeah.
No. I was just saying. No, I was saying. I know it was hard for us.
I do want to do it again, but I also think we should have some times where it's just us, so it's not as chaotic.
You know, it was great to do it, but it will be moments where there's just us, and I feel as though it's a lot more calmer like that. And you guys can hear us better, and you know everything can be more precise and concise for those commentaries. But yeah, we'll try to bring more to you guys for that soon.
Kansas City, we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely. But guys, those are our week 2 predictions. Like I said earlier, don't forget to like, comment, share, all that fancy jazz. Don't be afraid to share the channel. Leave a like, leave a comment if you guys want to talk football with us. We love to do that with you as well. You can hit our email as well. That'll be in the link in the description of this video. You can email us, you know, any questions or anything like that, or comments you guys have towards the content. We appreciate it. But until then,
IG too, if you want, you can DM us on that.
Correct. That'll also be in the description. If you guys want to give us a follow, we'll greatly appreciate that as well. But guys, until then, I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We'll check you guys for the Ravens-Browns week 2 pregame show. We'll bring you that to you guys before Sunday, so stay tuned for that. So for now, again, I'm Dom. That's Gonz. We're signing off. Enjoy football.
Go Ravens.